Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the MRL Fastlane. Welcome, everyone, one and all. We are covering the 3 races at Watkins Glen. Now, I do want to make the distinction here, and that I was torn from Saturday. I did not broadcast Saturday. Because of some personal issues. Because of that, I apologize so much for everyone watching. However, the results are still logged, points were still calculated, and it was a complete and utter domination by Hunty Wild. So unfortunately, we do not have the race to watch there, but I will still break it down a little bit. You can watch it from the 2 POVs, from Hunty's POV as well as Piper's POV. That is things that I will leave in the description. So, because of that, we are going to be looking at the lights, mostly. And now, I want to make the distinction because I want to keep the formula, from what I did last time. And I want to really look at, like, more so the nuances and what the implications of this race were, and not so much a recap, because I feel like I've been focusing too much on recaps. So as you can probably see, we did 30 minutes, and we had a lot of internet issues prior to this race, but because of that, pardon me, the entire thing with the Cup side of things is Hunty started on pole and just led every single lap. It was well, almost every single lap. BD was able to take one singular lap, and that was it. That's because 2 cautions came on out. He stayed out at one of those and was able to lead a lap. So that puts him very much in the heat for the title. However, as you can see here, it was pretty. It was Hunty's race to lose, essentially. We had a good sized field of 14 joining us for Watkins Glen, so it was a nice race. Like I said, only 2 cautions, and they were like pretty quick. They were like lap 1 and like lap 4, and then after that the race was green. So it was 45 laps after that, and it was good to go. After that, so essentially to kind of get at the whole aspect of that. Oh, pardon me. It was this one. Hunty just completely dominated. Lil Chris, really good race. It was between him and T-Bird. There was some altercations between those two. T-Bird dropped 6 whole spots, but that's because basically the entire top 5 was all relatively close to each other. So Rockstar coming in with a return drive to P3. Excellent job there. Brandon P4. BS completing the top 5. And you'd be surprised. BS was not confident going into this race, but a top 5 is good nonetheless. And then there's BD P6 and UK P7. So Hunty, BD, and UK all are now the championship contenders going into this next 2 races. Is Las Vegas and then Homestead to complete out the series. And then we're going to go into the new game. So, to kind of go through the rest of the running order, the 3 DNFs, Worst COD, MH, and Baseball Kid, unfortunately, those guys were... I don't know if it was server issues. I know MH and Baseball Kid. I don't know if something happened with Worst Cup, but those were the 3 that DNF'd out of this race. And because of that, we're going to kind of look at the points, looking into this and huge implications that you could find here. So Hunty, because of where he finished and how many points he was able to gain, and compared to where UK and BD finished, it is -8 and -18. Now, I do want to make the distinction here. Technically, mathematically, the top 6 are still within the championship, mathematically in the championship. However, realistically, it's these top 3. Let's be honest here. -18 being the lowest and -8 being that, to kind of make the distinction, just for everyone knows, -8 points is 2 positions. That is incredibly close. 2 positions right there could make or break a title. BD is a little bit in a worse scenario. That is 4 positions right here. So, still very, very close between these guys. In Las Vegas, Definitely a good track for all three of these guys, but Las Vegas will be a big thing. However, that the Cup Series definitely bringing out the best in everyone right here. So as we go into Sunday lights, let's look at and see who got pole there. Of course, that was Hunty. So, however, unlike Saturday, Hunty did not have the best of races. So that kind of opened up the door. So qualifying was a lot closer compared to the Cup side of things. To kind of compare, there you go. It was 1.3 was the gap. Only really 0.8 was the gap between first and second right there. And again, not to recap the entire race, because you can always just watch it right here on the MRL official YouTube. Feel free just to click that little subscribe button right there. Get that 37 to 38. But because of that, essentially, we had a big size field of 18. However, not a single caution was actually a big thing. So because of that, turn one was massive. And you can see, unfortunately, Liam being kicked from P3 all the way out there. That's going to kind of set the stage for the entire thing. But turn one really set the precedent for where everyone was going to be. So Hunty, of course, decided to take the inside. However, T-Bird had the really good turn one, and going up through the S's. This is where we had some problems going in through yesterday, and you can see that Hunty was already trying to make the pass right there. But, however, we're going to see something right now going up through, going into the bus stop here. There is a little bit of contact, and the 15 just noses into the wall. Oh my goodness, and that really sets the stage as everyone tries to get their bearings for Hunty making his recovery drive. So, we're going to kind of go forward. This really sets the stage now between, but for T-Bird, who is still leading the race, showing, flexing his muscles here. The 18 of Xander, who unfortunately didn't make the Saturday race, but also the 07 Lil Chris. These three were the main ones with Story Square back there. Story Square has continuously showed to impress, finishing P4, P5, and then where's he going to finish this this week? This was his third race with us here, so we're going to see how that happens. But essentially that kind of opens up the door there, but unfortunately, Xander encounters some issues. Right here, he bins it out of the bus stop, and by the time he gets around to getting back on track, he's already well behind. See, Hunty's back there. He's starting to close in on him right now. Of course, then you have everyone in the rest of the top 10 all doing their best. There goes Keith going a lap down right now. That was him in P14 at this point. Like I said, 18 drivers here, so there's a lot of racers kind of vying for spots. However, as the strategy was pretty much a two-stopper. It kind of allowed people to kind of either go for the long runs or the short run strategy. So because of that, you have a very difference in opinion here. Lil Chris was one of those that decided to stop short. T-Bird decided to stop long. So because of that, they kind of end up meeting towards the end, and you can see the fruits of that right here. They kind of swap positions with each other. Being a little rough, but that's racing sometimes. The 07 deciding to take a little bit of the grass. The 21 all fighting. This is the battle for the lead right now. These two would be duking it out. And all this culminates towards the end of the race. This is coming with like 5 to go at this point. All the way coming to the end of the race right now. And I'm actually trying to find the exact moment. I think it was right here. Yep. So the 21 gets around him. The 07 of Lil Chris bump all the way to the gravel. That is unfortunate from the 21. However, all that still being said, that was the classic bump and run. The 21 still gets back up. The 21 was probably the fastest consistently person on track. However, because of the gap that was put in place, the 21 is putting everything he can. This is the last lap going on through. Unfortunately, the 21 will not get to him, and you can actually see that maybe in another lap, the 21 could have got to him. He swung right there going into turn 6, but the 07 will get his first win on his points night. And because of that, you have a very key difference right here. So, of course, the finishing times don't reflect on where these guys finished. A fantastic race from both of these guys. Hunty, recovery drive of the year. He dropped all the way back to P16 and made it all the way back to P3 for a podium. Round of applause. Xander was the big thing here. Expected to be one of the favorites to capitalize on Hunty's mistakes. However, he made a few mistakes of his own. P6 is his result. So because of that, you have a few differences in the points now going into this race. BS, another top 5. So look at that. Justin Shackett finishing P9. That was the championship leader going into this race. So, because of that, you have the points are the big thing I want to talk about after this race. A lot of Monday drivers actually here. So actually, let's count them up. So out of the 18 drivers, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 drivers that was racing for Mondays that want to just get the practice. So there's 12 points paying drivers here. But Gio making his second return. Top 10, he kind of got tossed around like a used towel. And because of that, he ended up finding his mojo later on, but I think it was too little too late. Liam was another one that kept getting tossed around. Of course, he was the one that was in the very beginning of the race, right here, that went wide. He had a bit of contact with someone knocking him into the outside of turn 1. We're actually going to watch this live. So this is, like I said, going into turn 1. Here's Liam right here. Boom. And there he goes. So a bit of a recovery drive from him. However, you have still a P11 from that. Not the best scenarios, but not the worst. So because of that, Xander, because UK did not show up and nor did he put in a lap, Xander takes the point lead by default, but because of the difference between where Xander and Hunty finished, Hunty lost or gained some points, valuable points, 25 points now separating him and Xander between for the final 2 races, Las Vegas as well as Homestead. Because of that, you have a lot riding on the line. This is actually the second largest gap that we're going to see. I guess least competitive title fight out of all 3 series so far. And we're going to get to the Monday series as we get into it. However, Justin Shackett, mathematically, top 7 are still in it. Realistically, the top 3, again, are still in it. However, arguably the top 2 are the main ones. UK essentially took himself out of it because of not showing up and nor putting in a lap. So that's unfortunate where it is. But Sunday series, this is where we are right here. But because of that, Monday had 3 cautions. Monday, Cyber was on pole, Nathan P2. These 2 are the main title contenders for this night. And they're really right here next to each other. So weird how that works out. You have 3 major incidents that cause a caution this race. However, it doesn't really impact the race that much. In fact, actually, with Xander's actually in this race to kind of just just ride for fun. After he kind of gets out to see, here's one of the cautions right here. We have after Xander kind of takes the lead, he just kind of takes on off, and you can actually see him because of how Mondays go through, and you can't start in the front. You have to really just kind of play it nice. So Nathan right here taking the lead. There's Xander right here. Xander's working his way forward, so it took him a while to get up front, but after a while, he does get to the front. So because of that, everyone is doing a great job, especially going into the bus stop right there. The top 5, especially Beatty as well. You really don't think about that he is a road course kind of person, but he had a really good run today. And Watkins Glen kind of brings that out in most of the people. However, the main thing I want to point out here is towards the end of the race. So like I said, after the few cautions, Xander makes his way to the front, and Cyber essentially makes his way to the lead. Eventually, just coming out of this. But the big thing I want to point out here, as the battle for the lead kind of shakes on up. So I strike what I was saying. That was after a caution came on out. Cyber took the lead, and Xander was trying to close, and I forget exactly what put him there. I think it was a mistake. Either that or he got punted. But either way, he ended up moving into to 93 of Loho right there. He ended up losing a lot of time. So it became a battle between him and Cyber to get to the lead. And in fact, actually, here's the pass for the lead right there on Cyber. So, no, I apologize. This is him closing in. That's the 44 right there of Gio, who decided to run in the Monday series. I apologize about that. So, look, there we go. Here is the battle for the lead. So Cyber is right here. We're going to be looking to see what where he is in conjunction to Xander. Xander is going to be a little bit farther back. Like I said, I forget what put him back there, but he did end up moving forward. So as pit stops occur, that is what's going on. There he is. No, that's BD. Never mind. And there he is. Okay, my bad. So yeah, pit stops were happening at that point. So, the main thing I want to point out though is, there was some crap going on in the back of the pack. I'll say that. We're just going to skip to the end first of all, and we're gonna get to that. So Cyber is trying to hold off the 18 of Xander. Unfortunately, he will not be able to get there. It's going to be a major battle, but eventually the 18 will get the benefit of that and will pass the 5. Beatty gets another podium to add to his record, passing Nathan. I do believe it was like 5 to go or something like that. Gio, P5 right there. Brandon, P6. Piper, nice P7. Maverick in his first ever start, P8. Last car on the lead lap. Broadcaster Clay, P9. First car one lap down. Loho, P10. Worst card, P11. And Scuck, P12. This is one of the incidents right here. Worst card decided to just lunge it down the inside of Scuck to take P11. And because of that, it's intentional wrecking. He will be parked for a race. So next Monday, he will not... Or next lights event at Las Vegas, he is just totally down and out. Apologies, but that's just how it is. Don't intentionally wreck someone. Same thing with the 22 of Wade. The 22 of Wade was in a huge battle with the 93 of Loho. Nothing from what I saw that warranted retaliation or whatsoever. It was just hard driving. But because of that, the 22 waited for the 93. That's why he's 2 laps down. He purposely waited for the 93 and then intentionally wrecked him. So, because of that, Wade is also parked for a week as well. So, I don't know what Monday did to bring out the worst in those two, but here we are. So because of that, like what I was saying, this is actually the largest gap between P1 and P2 right here. Nathan, 38-point gap over Cyber. It was 48, but they both led a lap, and because of that, they only gained technically 10 laps, or sorry, 10 points. So Cyber is now only 38 points back between him and Nathan. So, with 2 races left, Vegas and Homestead, there's a lot on the plate. Homestead, where Nathan finished last season, was not so hot, and actually, it was actually just enough that maybe if Cyber could go and win that race, which he did last season, he can have a bit of points resurgence. So it's going to be critical. This championship's far from over. So because of that, that is essentially the short recap of the entire race. So let's kind of break this all down into itty bitty pieces. So Vegas. Let's talk Vegas, guys. For all 3 series, if we look to the track facts, you may notice blank space is here for Vegas. Of course, the last time I did track facts was Charlotte. That's because Lights has been there. Lights has not been to Vegas so far, so there's no information to go on. However, we can only look at their cup performances here, which Cyber had a podium in the Monday series. Xander had a pit road speeding penalty, just for an example. BD had a blend line violation. And you can actually see this right here. Packers ended up winning the race in Cup, Bass qualifying. Neither are expected to return, so we're going to have some brand new guys up here. So essentially, Vegas called out a lot of people, is what I'm trying to say. Hunty has never been here. UK had a top 5 car, but he did not, that was about it. Other than that, he was just a top 5 guy. So Vegas is going to be a huge thing for everyone here to kind of regroup and be able to get into a rhythm. So Hunty is the big unknown for the Cup side of things. So again, looking back at only 18 points separates the top 3 in points. You have Vegas. That is the great unknown. We don't know what Hunty's going to do. UK, we can expect he's going to be in the top 5. Okay, but where's BD going to be in that? He was leading before his blend line violation. He had the opportunity to win. Can he recuperate that? Because currently he's the one that's needing the most points. UK just needs to be solid and hope that Hunty kind of falters, which in that scenario, Hunty's been pretty solid all across the board. He has been either right inside the top 5 or just outside. And then Watkins Glen is his specialty with road course racing. So, because of that, we can expect that Hunty's going to be really good as well. BD was another one that has been upper tier a little bit. He's been getting podiums. He's, apart from Bristol, which has really set him back, and actually if he didn't have that 12th place at Bristol, he would probably have ran right around the top 5, probably P6, maybe P7. So, again, very close for all these guys here. However, UK, though, also very consistent with P7 being his 2 worst finishes. However, again, with him being P2 in the standings, I think these guys are going to be in a knockout drag-out fight. I'm just calling it right now. Meanwhile, let's look down the board a little bit. We have MH, Worscott, and Liam. Now, Worscott is not parked for the Cup race. So these guys right here are in a very much battle. Even Xander, who Xander did not put in a lap, so he lost all these positions back here, and essentially that's why he's back here as well. Xander, of course, had a pit road speeding violation, so he entered pit road way too fast. I think if he can just avoid that, he was a top 2 car. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, I think he can go out and kind of showcase what he can do and kind of gain these points back. Unfortunately, he's out of the championship battle. With 2 races left, I don't see a way for him to do it, so that's unfortunate. However, we will see. And then looking down the board a little bit more, then we have those that are like the people that showed up for 1 race. So like Bass on. Of course, Bass was super strong at Vegas last season. Of course, being holding the fastest qualifying lap as well as the fastest race lap. These guys, Bass, of course, was super strong. I think if he were to race, he would also be a contender. However, that's ultimately up to him. So we will see on that. Sunday, though, Sunday and Monday really are going to be the great unknown. Las Vegas is super harsh on Xfinity tires, so there's going to be some that are going to be able to go that little bit extra long on tires. And potentially cut out an entire pit stop. It's not like anything like Atlanta, or it's like you pay like 10 laps, like when you have fuel, you have 10 laps worth of fuel left and you have to pit for tires. It's not going to be like that. It's just, what I mean by that is it's super tire oriented, as in like you feel like Superman on fresh tires, but as soon as those tires start wearing, you get wrecking loose. So it's a bit of a difference and a bit of a parity here. So I think the ones that I'm going to be on the lookout for, the ones that have showcased the best of their talent, I think in terms of Sunday, I'm going to give out 2 drivers, one for Sunday, one for Monday. And this is just from me racing with them personally, knowing what they can do in the Xfinity car. Xander, of course, he's going to be probably my choice to win on Sunday. However, on Monday, I feel like Cyber is the obvious choice, but I'm going to choose out of the box and choose Nathan, because I've known what he can do at Vegas, just racing with him personally in the Xfinity car. Cyber, of course, is going to be the odd one out. He is the obvious pick, but with 2 races left, can he make up 38 points is going to be the question. So that, I think, is going to be a big thing here. So who knows? Las Vegas is going to be a huge thing for these guys. Also, one thing I want to point out is that if we look down the order for both of these guys, there is a lot of points battles going on that we don't really talk about that much. Of course, BS and Liam are fighting for P4 in the title. And then down here as well, 4 points separates Gilchrist and T-Bird, who were first and second in their races. That just shows that they're on equal terms with each other. T-Bird's having a breakout season, and Gilchrist, this is his first season with us. What can this transfer over to the new game, into Season 1 proper? Who knows? Monday, with all these names, it may be quick to gloss over some of them, but BD and Loho, 4 points away from each other. Of course, Loho had a P10 finish and BD was in P3, and that's where he was able to gain most of the points. However, these two are a dead heat for P6. Arguably, with NASCAR Extreme finishing dead last down here, P5 is up on the board, maybe even P4. Should Clay lose enough points, so BD could be getting P4 in the standings before season's end. Same thing down here with Brandon. Brandon's just going to inherit P8 and not have so much of a battle with Worstcod because he is parked for the week. So Heron, Dale Forever, should he race, should be able to take that from them. So what can these guys do? Skuck and Maverick. Maverick had a really good first impression. This was his first race with us. Skuck as well, for his points night, having a good showing. Of course, I kind of was marked away from looking, being blown into turn 6 by Worstcod. That kind of put a damper on things. But Las Vegas is going to be a great unknown for these guys, and I want to know who do you guys have winning for all 3 races. So I'm looking at, because I don't think I picked a one for Saturday. I think if we look at overall, I think UK is going to be the one to really watch on Vegas for Saturday. Sunday, Xander. And then Monday, Nathan. Nathan is going to be the one that has to step it up, because Cyber at Vegas and Homestead are the tracks that are really good at. So Cyber will naturally gain some points because he's just so consistent. However, Nathan will be the one that has to step it up a little bit, and because if we look at it, right here, a P2 and a P4 finish with leading a lap, that is 10 points separation. Okay. However, say Nathan does not lead a lap. That is now 5 bonus points lost. That is 15 points gained. 2 positions, I think he can win the championship by just finishing 2 positions apart for the next 2 races. However, looking at Homestead, where he wasn't the greatest, he was like a top 5 car, but Cyber was hands down the best. It's going to be interesting to see where these guys finish. So I think that is going to be the big one that's going to be on the board. However, I want to hear from you guys. So this has been Private Patton with Millennium Racing League, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. Who are your picks for the title as well as the race win? It's too soon for me to call for the title, but I will do so next week after everything's all counted. So with that, this has been Private Patton with Millennium Racing League. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.